You know what it's not? It's not a fucking 6.
Call 1-900-BLOB-LOVE. Just $2,500 for the first minute.
Hell yes.
What's going on, everybody? Brilliance here, and I was doing my Brilliance thing that I usually do, and I was going through, I was sifting through the Xbox Game Pass log, right? Just looking for that next game, that next attention grabber, or that one hidden gem that kind of gets overshadowed by, you know, the monsters of the AAA industry like Anthem, Aliens Colonial Marines, No Man's Sky, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Fallout 76, and I came across this game, Journey to the Savage Planet, and I had remember seeing this back at E3, I think last year. It was in one of those like quick snippet cuts where they just kind of throw it in like, you know, 10, 20 seconds of gameplay in there and announce the game and then move on to the next one. Anyway, so this game was developed by Typhoon Studios, published by 505 Games, and it was released January 2020. And I had kind of forgotten about it because it was overshadowed by everything coming out around that time. And I was playing other things at the time, and I just never got around to it. And so when I heard it was coming on Game Pass, I was super stoked. I was like, awesome, yes! And I hit some friends up, and I was like, hey, we got to co-op this game, guys. This whole game is co-op. We can co-op this entire game all the way through. It's a true co-op game. So naturally, with life happening and this whole pandemic going on, people are busy with their families and trying to get things together, which I understand, but nobody is really available to play. So I said, F it, I'm gonna go in and just kind of run through by myself, and maybe I'll do a second playthrough with a friend. So I started playing this game, and I had some, you know, I had expectations. It looked really good. I didn't expect it to be anything amazing. I didn't expect it to suck. I expected it to be average based on the reviews that I had seen and things that I read about the game and how much hype it didn't have. So I hopped into it. Now in this game, you play as some kind of spaceman clone, and you crash land on this planet that is completely unknown. You don't know anything about it. The computer in the AI in your ship doesn't know anything about it, but it wants you to go around scanning everything, and so you can kind of learn about the planet, learn how to adapt, and then find fuel to power your ship to get off the planet. The first thing I noticed about this game was the sense of humor. It's one of those, it's not as cringy as Borderlands 3 was, but it's up there, but it's self-aware, if that makes any sense. It knows that it's bad, it knows that it's cheesy, but it's very sci-fi influenced humor, if that makes any sense. For example, when you go back to your ship to upgrade your equipment or upgrade your stats or anything else on your character, turn in your materials that you found, you get to watch these ridiculous commercials, and they're basically advertisements.
Veggie burger.
Remember me? You said I'd never be back. Well, guess who's back? Wedgie Burger's back open. Health violations no longer a problem. They tried to shut me down. They couldn't take me out. In the case, kids like the Wedginator. Mom keeps for free, okay?
It's 5 delicious vegan patties between 2 homemade buns.
But right off the bat, the sense of humor in this game was there. Even the narrator, the AI that talks to you through your helmet, is absolutely hysterical. Some of the shit that she says, and it's just one of those games that it's hard to find nowadays. It doesn't take itself seriously. It doesn't care what people think. You know, people like Kotaku who write articles talking about how offensive the word savage is. For example, in their words, they said, the word savage, it has a long history of being used to justify violent behavior by colonizers. F*** off. I'm not playing this game to get a history lesson on colonization. I'm playing this game to have fun, because video games are about having fun. I think Kotaku forgot about that. These clowns over at Kotaku seem to think that they are CNN or Politico, and they forget that they're a video game journalism website. But me personally, I look at Kotaku as the dumpster of the video game industry, where everyone just throws out their trash. People like CNN and Politico who don't want to hire these people, they throw them out and they end up on Kotaku. Anyways, we've gone way off track, but I don't give a f*** because it's my channel. So when this game starts out, you don't have any abilities whatsoever. You have a scanner, you don't even have a pistol yet. And as you're working your way through the game, you find these shrines, and these shrines grant you different powers. There's double jump ability, there's even a triple jump ability, there's a grapple hook that you can grapple up to, like these weird blobs that apparently have hooks in them that you can latch onto. You also get seeds from around the world that you use to interact with your environment. For example, you get these throwing star looking seeds that you throw onto certain surfaces, and it creates a ledge for you to grapple onto, and then you use those to kind of climb and platform your way around the universe. There's also a Tony Hawk grind ability where you can grind on certain routes. And how this game progresses is you kind of work your way through it, collecting all these abilities, and then there's a lot of not backtracking, but returning to previous areas, like in Tomb Raider, where you finally get this power that you needed early on in the game in order to get into a secret area to get like an upgrade for yourself. So you go back and then you use, for example, your ground pound ability to crush the floor when you couldn't do that at the beginning of the game. So it's really cool. There's a lot of exploration going on, and you kind of learn the environment. And that's what I miss about gaming, is that nowadays everything's a mini map. There's a GPS, and you don't really learn environments anymore. One of my favorite games ever, actually my favorite game ever of all time, is Shadow of the Colossus. And what I love about that game was that you had to learn the environment. Same with Fez. You had to learn the environments so you can learn where things are by landmarks, and you had to actually use your brain. And that's what I miss about games. And in this game, there is no mini map. So you kind of have to learn the environments and remember where things are. I took a little bit of notes here and there as to, I found this ground pound panel. I don't have that ability yet. I need to write down where this is so I can come back later on once I finally find that ability, and I can finally access that area. And I miss that about gaming. I miss using my brain and having to figure things out, and puzzle games. I've been really into puzzle games lately, guys. If you haven't noticed, like games that make you solve or build, a lot of survival games, figuring things out, because I like the adventure and I enjoy crafting and having to use more than 2 brain cells and not follow a mini-map in order to accomplish things. Now, you'll fight all sorts of enemies in this game. You'll fight giant chickens. There's these hilarious little creatures that when you scan them, it just says that they're scared of everything. So when you run into them or you get close to them, they just start screaming. And the sense of humor is there, guys. It's very cheeky. I was laughing out loud multiple times. Graphically, it's stunning. Graphically, it's using Unreal Engine. It's got this really cool sense of atmosphere and just sense of mystery. You can really feel the vibe of the planet. It's just really hard to describe. It's like an acid trip. There are boss battles in this game, and they are awesome. Like, I was having a great time. The game wasn't too hard. It wasn't too easy. It was a good, relaxing, comfortable playthrough, and it was challenging at times. I did die, and it's hilarious. When you do die, you are cloned, and the game actually keeps track of how many times you die. I believe I died 13 times total, and I just had a blast. I loved this game. This was one of those games where after I beat that final boss and the credits rolled, I went back and I was collecting all of the different upgrades and completing all the challenges. I found all the fuel to take off on my ship to officially end the game. And it was just a great time. It was a good, relaxing game. It was a break from all the monotony and everything else going on in the industry right now. And I highly, highly recommend it. If I had to score this game, it would be an 8.5. Maybe a 9. Maybe an 8.5. Maybe an 8.75. You know what it's not? It's not a fucking 6 like IGN give it. Do these people even play these games? Do they play these games all the way through? Or they just look at the check that they got from the publisher and they make the decision off the amount of the check that they got? It is not a fucking 6. This is why we created this channel, guys. This is why Talk Gaming exists, to bring you real, honest reviews that aren't paid for, and this is why we probably won't get many review keys from AAA publishers, because we dissect these games and we tell it like it is, and we are all about keeping it real, guys, and keeping it honest. We will never accept a dime from any publisher. We will never cash a check from any publisher to give any game a good review score, ever. But that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to keep this one short. Journey to the Savage Planet. Highly, highly, highly recommended. Another excellent game that's on Game Pass. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys played it, let me know in the comments. I have noticed that there are a lot of people that watch our videos that aren't subscribers, so hopefully we're able to earn your subscription today. Please hit that button, leave a comment, like the video. It definitely helps get it out there in the crazy YouTube algorithm. But anyways, you know how it goes. In a world full of shitty video games and shady companies, I'm just here to educate and inform. Thank you for talking games with me, and have a nice night.
Chat with the most seductive soft bodies in space for a discreet and nebulous encounter. No bones about it. Call 1-900-BLOB-LOVE. Just $2,500 for the first minute.
Hell yes.